I have been talking about this trad wife to poverty pipeline or trad wife to single mother pipeline for a little while now. And I have been actively engaged in watching the trad con men talk about the women and how they on women and all of that. But today I'm going to kind of combine topics because in the trad con lifestyle, women are supposed to submit, right? But also some of the conversations that we're having with that man, this man that either A, pushed their children out to greet this woman right before the finish line, or B, was negligent and wasn't watching his children right before the finish line. Either way, this man was negligent and out of pocket. Now, on the one hand, women are supposed to submit to these peen havers because, you know, peen havers are higher and women are supposed to submit to men like the men submit to God. But then on the other hand, it's BaDerp-a-Derp, maybe he didn't know, BaDerp-a-Derp. So we have to also give grace because for whatever reason, not understanding what a race is and people are running and there are motorbikes on the pathway is something that doesn't even go into their most logical brain because, you know, men are the most logical leaders. Keep that in mind. The whole submission conversation has been on social media for as long as I have been on social media. So Joel said, men who don't submit to God are unqualified to lead. A man who demands to be submitted to is a manipulator. And that was a response to, is the problem women that refuse to submit or men that refuse to lead? We are consistently having this conversation because having a peen is like the major requirement to leadership to these people if you let these people say it. And I like literally based on what? Because any other time that something goes wrong, leadership is supposed to, you know, take accountability, take responsibility. But literally for every relationship woe, it is what did a woman do to make him react that way? What was she doing? What was she wearing? Maybe he just didn't know. But he doesn't know how. He doesn't know how to push the button on the washing machine. He just doesn't know. And so we are supposed to act like they are moronic in one sense, and every other time they are leaders because they have a peen. So a lot of women on the racing conversation were like, yeah, he was trying to sabotage that woman, or he was neglectful, or he was a moron, whatever. There was a variety of situations, none of which made the man look good. But this man was like, why is it a gender thing? Why are you guys coming down on the men? He was like, yeah, it was just a silly Billy move and the kids should stay out of the way. It was just a silly Billy move. Right. He goes, like so many of these people really try to make it like it was just, he just made a mistake. Then I have to bring it back towards the bottom. I'm like, LOL at silly Billy. This was dumb AF. And then you got this woman, Savage Optimist. Well, you know, she is the optimist. Her name, Savage Optimist. Maybe he made an honest mistake and released the kids at the wrong runner. And that's not even the problem. The problem isn't releasing it at the wrong runner. It's not watching your kid and releasing kids anyway in the racing path. So that's the reason why I say, like, at what point can we acknowledge that having a peen does not make these people leadership? That doesn't mean that these people have leadership qualities. Leadership means that you're supposed to be able to watch the field, know and understand, anticipate things, guide, not push people into the runway, not react simply because somebody is doing something. You're supposed to take accountability even for your whole team, even if you didn't do something. There are so many reasons. They show us daily that they are not the natural born leaders, but at the same time, they are like, respect my authority. Respect my authority. I have a peen. Respect my authority. And that is where we are with these people. And, you know, social media is showing us daily that they can barely run a dishwasher, let alone lead a whole household, because where the heck are they leading them to? And they can barely lead themselves. Anyways, I want to talk about these people, Josiah and Isabella Moody. And in this clip, this man who looks like a teenager is talking about how even if he makes a mistake and says something wrong, she's just supposed to sit there and take it. And then after all of the dust settles, then he will repent to God and then make things better with her. And this is one of the reasons why, like, I am very glad that religion is on the decline. But why do so many women listen to these people? Like, we have sense of our own, yet we give it away in order to be in a relationship. And yeah, it baffles me. So we need to watch this short clip.
Walk out until my point was conveyed that you do what you're supposed to do, whatever I tell you to do, because that's your job, is to submit, do it with a smile on your face. I don't care. And I wouldn't have let you leave. I would have, you would have had to eat whatever mean things I would have said. And then the job would have got done. And then afterwards, after the cooling down process, I would have, repented to God and smooth things over with you for the sinful behavior. That's how things would have went down. I would eat whatever mean things I would have said, and then the job would have got done. And then afterwards, after the cooling down process, I would have, repented to God and smooth things over with you for the sinful behavior.
And this is what I was thinking. Is that a 14-year-old boy? What the hell is he ordering her to do? Let him stay up past his bedtime? And literally, maybe it's just me because I got married as a functional adult with some sense. But it just baffles my mind that some women would come in after leading a full adult life and now let a man just boss you around as if you are a dog. It just doesn't compute to my adult brain. And the thing is, it's not even about someone needs to lead in a relationship. We are both adults. We can lead ourselves and just work together. But somebody in these situations, for whatever reason, has to be a leader. And then Freely Ashley says, why are we taking orders from Teenage Vanilla Ice? And to that I say, who knows? And so now Hillary Crowder made a comment under that video. She's like, no, this is not the way. God's design for marriage is not for a spouse to be subjected to constant humiliation and degradation. It is not loving your husband well to sit there and eat whatever verbal insults he hurls at you. Isabella's comments make so much more sense now, and I can read the discomfort on her face as her husband speaks. I encourage her and anyone that can relate to the relationship dynamics he is describing to read this book. The author is one of the only Christian conservative voices speaking out against this type of marriage rhetoric. And then she holds up the book, The Emotionally Destructive Relationship. Now, because she is posting this and she is having her very public divorce being talked about, people were coming for her in some of the quote retweets. If it was left up to TradCon men, women wouldn't have an out. That's the reason why they want to get rid of no-fault divorce and why they whine so much about it. Even Steven Crowder was like, and she could just up and divorce me, even if I disagree with it. And so they really are loudly telling women that they shouldn't have any options for leaving. That's the reason why Freeholder says, funny, you violate the fundamentals of Christian matrimony, then stand on them to throw stones. So not wanting to be subjected to constant humiliation and degradation means that she is violating the fundamentals of Christian matrimony. And we got this person, Exhibit A of Christian white women, how they use God and Christianity as their scapegoat for ruining and breaking up their family and extorting their husbands. These women are pit vipers, man. So, because she's entitled to some of the marital assets that were built up during their relationship, she is a pit viper and she is extorting her husband because they do not feel that women are valuable and have helped build things in their home. That is what these people are saying. Ghost of Z says, I'm dying laughing at how on the nose this is. This woman is a cope machine at full throttle. No wonder Crowder had to be free of her. Drop his name, woman. You don't deserve it. All right, y'all. So there is going to be a part 2 of this video. I'm going to do some of the comments under this video from April 14th, the Proceed with Caution, the Trad Wife to Poverty Pipeline is real. I'm going to do some of the comments on it. The Trad Wife to Poverty Pipeline video got the people talking. So I'm going to do some of the comments under this post. So what's the matter with you? Said, yep, happened to me. 18 and a half years and 3 kids later, I was on my own. No money, all of his debt. He claimed VA disability. Over half was for depression, and he lied about most of it for years. Didn't even know how to use a debit card. I was abused in every way possible and had enough. I ended up working for minimum wage, then had to take 4 jobs to support my kids, 18 to 20 hours a day, 7 days a week. The courts do not care. I had a judge tell me that I needed to work more. I only had one job. He would give my children to their father if I could not support him. Judge told me that I worked too much to spend more time with them and then threatened to give them to their father. It was crazy. He is now in prison for abusing us as it is. 12 years later, the kids are grown. I've got a good job, but it was a hell of a lot of work. Never trust a man that much unless it's Jesus Christ. This is the reason why I say I'm reading these comments, because these are cautionary tales. These women are being traded up and traded in at a certain point in time. And so many of them don't have the experience or education to go out and get a good job right now. They have to work back up to it and go through poverty. Okay, so Y Beth says, I know several women who had good marriages but didn't prepare for their husband's deaths. They didn't know the first thing about their finances when they passed. Thankfully, they had money, but they didn't know how to take care of themselves. This is an adult thing to do, to know how to take care of yourself. This is the reason why some of the things that I say is be able to survive regardless of your marital status. Susie B says, restricting your daughters like that is a great way to get them to leave and go no contact the second they turn 18. And stop training your daughters to be servants, because these younger girls are leaving their parents alone and religion is on the decline. So if you want to push for no contact, then you keep pushing these girls to be servants. This person says, I have been a traditional wife for almost 23 years. I never use makeup. I never buy things or nice dresses for me. I did homeschooling for 10 years and I followed my husband with my kids to everywhere he had to work. That's why it seems we travel a lot in my channel, but it's not the case, but work. 2 of our children are now in college. We need real traditional wives and responsible and honorable husbands to fix this corrupt and broken system. We need to take care of our marriages and families. Okay. So then right after that, she says, thank you all for sharing your stories. I was a good student. I have a lot of privilege and I was always going to get a BA, but my dad encouraged me to get a law degree. That's been the key to my financial independence. I'm now 38 with a cat, a condo, a car, a condo, 2 cats, and a hot PhD boyfriend. Get the degrees. I put these 2 together because they just contrasted so much back to back. All right, so this person says, woman, trad wife for 20 plus years, stands behind her husband, bears him children, and takes care of him, gets left for a 19-year-old, red pill guys. Oh, she's divorced. She's over 30. She's hit the wall. Women literally cannot win. Women cannot. Even if they're abused, women cannot win, because then even if she's abused, well, she wasn't abused that bad. And I'm going to end it with this one. I support women who want to stay home and can. I think they can take that risk. But my situation, I won't ever rely on a man again. My ex is a kind and ultimately good man, total coward, but good natured. Turned out he wasn't straight. I dedicated my life to supporting him and helping him build his career, which had us moving a lot. I worked from home, but for the most part, he was the breadwinner, given he made a lot of money. We were together for 11 years. I was left with nothing when he abandoned me. Literally, I didn't even have a car. So I think women should do what they want, but know the risk. Even the great guys can switch up on you, or in my case, secretly wasn't straight. We were best friends, and literally, he abandoned me. He moved us back to my home state so we were close to my family and bailed on me. He planned it in secret. I was 29 at the time. I have my own business, so I'm doing fine these days, 37 now, but I will never give a man that kind of power over me again. So she was 29 when he abandoned her, and they were together for 11 years. So that means that she got with him when she was 18. This is one of the reasons why I really wish that girls would not get married so young. Don't let this be a cautionary tale, because you really don't know, especially in these conservative religions, if a person is just cosplaying this traditional role and he really wants to be living another lifestyle and you're his beard. All right, jump in the comments. Let me know what you think about this one. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.